Hello everybody. I just want to share my experience with the recently concluded 10-day Vipassana Dhamma course at Chennai. What is this 10-day Vipassana meditation course is all about? I read somewhere that if we just want to live in the present, or you want to always be thinking about the past, thinking about the future. So it all started when I started reading this book called Power of Now. When discussing about this book, I was also introduced by one of the friends that you can attend this course called Vipassana. It's a tough when I read that you have to stay there for 10 days, of course with the noble silence, no mobile allowed, no talking, no verbal communication and then you are not supposed to look at the other meditators. There is no television there. There is no, of course, mobile is not allowed inside, and there is no newspaper. So it's all cut. When I read itself, I felt something which is happening inside. So is it a possibility that you can cut off all this communication and just go for a course? So why this mobile is not allowed? Why there is no newspaper? Why there is no talking? Why there is no even eye contact? There is a meaning for all this. Our mind is keep on wandering outside. We don't have time to just see what is happening inside. I realize it's all not exactly conveyed in the Vipassana. Why there is no communication to the mind? Because they just want to narrow down the mind and then concentrate what is happening inside, within our body and our breath, everything. To keep the mind away from all these things, you have to cut off all the inputs. Inputs meaning your newspaper. When you start reading a newspaper, so many things go inside. And when you look at somebody, you got a lot of labeling happening. You see that person, he is that, he is wearing this, he is wearing that. All this happening. And of course, when you see television, which is everybody is mostly occupied. And then of course the mobile, everything, whatever communication happening to us, which the mind keep on wondering all about. There are about 65 thoughts a day, out of which 58,000 thoughts I was told, somewhere I read that it is repetitive and negative. So the mind is always wandering and we don't have time to see what is happening inside. Maybe Vipassana is just narrowing down to that option. So instead of going deep into what is Vipassana and how they designed and everything, I just want to make a try. Of course, I did a course 2.5 years before. Maybe the first time I was just trying to excite things and what is happening, what is this technique, maybe I missed out. Second time when I went there, believe me, it is very tough. Tough meaning, of course, whenever there is a mind is being controlled, it is becoming agitated. It's like a wild animal trying to, blast it out. So when there is no communication, they just start observing the 10-day course. For initially about 3.5 to 4 days, you are asked to concentrate your breath and narrow it down to the place where the breath is going below the upper lip and below the nostrils. You can keep on watching this. How many minutes you can watch this before the mind goes here and there. But for the mind, for the food for the mind, where we keep on, which is happening in our day-to-day life, like you read paper and you just talk to somebody, and of course we are all in the external affairs. So here, the 10 days, the moment it starts inside, that your incoming for the mind is totally stopped. It's becoming more agitated, believe me when I tell you this. They ask you to concentrate on the breath for 4 days. You keep on observing your breath. Vipassana, the real meaning of Vipassana is to observe. Pasana in the old Pali word, it is said to see, and Vipassana is to see inside or to observe. So for first 3-4 days, they ask you to concentrate on the breath, and the real operation starts on the 4th day, where you are asked to completely understand the body and how it reacts. The total Vipassana is so well designed that nothing is being controlled from outside. Even the breath, what we observe, we just have to observe how the breath is going inside and coming out in the nostril. Just to keep the mind, because if you control the mind with so many restrictions, it's worse than the wild elephant. Believe me, I tell you this, on the 3rd day I want to walk off. I told the teacher I'm leaving. I know pretty well that my mind is keep on telling me so many stories to come out of the place, because it doesn't like to be controlled. And teacher gave me a very good example. Your 10 days stay here is to watch what is happening. This is your true self is coming out. Then I immediately again I said, no, I want to go. Mad. I mean, I know that my mind is taking over me. with so many inputs, because it is totally controlled. Then the teacher said, this may have your reflection. Very, very practically, of course, few words from him made a big enlightenment. I mean, big really, eye-opener. He said, if you discontinue here, it will have your same kind of approach you'll have in your day-to-day life. Maybe your inner self is coming out. You don't want to complete anything. So this will have your effect on the performance maybe in your day-to-day activity or your business. So that hit me straight ahead. Then, it just happened of course, late in the night, where we used to have only time you can interact with teachers, whatever your doubt. I went back, lied down. Of course, there's a room where we stay only alone, and then thought about it. Maybe true. Maybe why don't I just observe it? Let it come. I mean, mind can trigger me to walk off everything. Let me observe it. And the moment he said it's going to affect your personal, behavior, and maybe in certain times when you want to complete certain things, you leave halfway. That hit me. Maybe teachers must be knowing how to hit you on the head. So this I thought for a moment. Yes, maybe why don't I try? Let come what may. Let the mind talk. Keep on talking. I will be an observer. Of course, every day it is tough, and the intensity of the mind has dropped. The idea is to watch the body. The sensation of the body is very simple. The mind reacts to so many things like touching, of course the feeling part of it, the hearing, the seeing, and the five precepts everybody know. Beyond this, there is something mind which reacts, which nobody knows. For that to know, you need to narrow down the mind. The Vipassana is all about that. When your mind is always, of course everything in the world is arising and passing. That's the concept, and everybody has got so many terms like this too shall pass, everything. So the body which reacts to the every moment, the body has got some kind of a sensation happening, and there is a pleasant sensation, there is an unpleasant sensation happening throughout the body throughout the time. We are not aware that mind is also reacting to that. There is an anger happening. Before the anger could come, there is some kind of unpleasantness started from the body. The Vipassana technique is all about for you to know how to be an observer for the anger. Before it could come, you can just observe from outside and make it aware. You can be totally aware of what is happening within your body. I read a good thing from a book that God wanted to hide the secret of happiness. He decided to keep it top of the mountain, the Everest. Then he felt that human man can go to any extent and take the secret. Why don't we put deep inside the ocean? Yes, he is prepared to even go deep with the technology, everything will take the secret out. Then he decided he kept the secret inside. So it's all about like what is happening. Nobody wants to see what is happening inside. This is the first step. I'm talking on the broader sense. I mean, I don't want to go deep into this because maybe spiritual path, I have not even taken a half step. The tough part of 10 days, which everybody, I wish everybody could go and attend to it, take the Dhamma course, which is very, very useful. But the moment it is explained that these are the five precepts, they said you have to be abstain from killing, abstain from stealing, and then abstain from telling lies. There are five precepts where initially if you want to take the course, they take these five precepts first. I wish you can also practice keeping the mobile off for 2 days prior to going there. This mad world presently is, I mean, forget about just closing eyes and thinking about it. Nobody, I don't think so, anybody who just want to, the moment they wake up the day, they just want to look for a mobile. Crazy world. So when this is so, I mean, why they, see, it's not for their benefit, they want to cut off this. They want to close all the case for the mind to narrow it down, which is very difficult, of course. But if you do it, end of the day, it's a bliss. I mean, you are off from everything. You try to know what is the true self for yourself. And one important thing is, you don't talk to anybody. You are inside the room. Of course, the sleep. You are, and the 2 times of food a day. And 5 o'clock they give you very small snacks. And then they made it. I mean, it's so wonderfully designed, this course, that they not even close to all the happening from inside. They also carefully design the food you eat. It is not a very spicy food. It's a very, very normal vegetarian food which can supplement to the body what all the energy needs. But of course, what you eat is what you think. So even it's so well planned that you would take only. I mean, it is not, you're not going to take full stomach with everything. Of course, you hardly eat. I mean, by the time your mind narrowed down, mind is hardly into this. So you can watch yourself that whatever dishes they are served, you can just put it and then still mind is just eating. I mean, we are not even concentrating on the food what you eat. That kind of narrowed down the mind has become. So the food, of course, I just want to people to know what is this that things can be, the people can be prepared at if you want to take up the 10-day course. First, of course, you be prepared. And if they say don't talk, please don't talk. There might be some opportunities where you can just speak into somebody and just have few words. It is not going to help for you. So you can attain, I mean, you can get the maximum benefit out of this course if you concentrate, if you take all these very seriously. And of course it is for the own good self. In normal practical life, of course, once you are back from the 10-day course, you are your own master. And maybe this will help to some extent in at least trying to be in the present. Not of course that is very difficult to be practically live rather than just say. It is all because Vipassana is always keep on hammering that we just want to know you to experience. There is no intellectual teaching. There is no imaginary things. It is all experience for you to know. I mean, everybody has got their own experience. Like for myself, this is the experience, and everybody differs. And I was amazed at people. I was looking at some people who take 4 10-day course, 5 10-day course. I thought I achieved a big thing by attending a second 10-day course. It's not so. I mean, there are people, and the world is wants something to achieve. I mean, there are a lot of people doing a lot of things. And one more important thing, the lesson which I learned here, you don't estimate people by just looking. The 10-day course which is happening there, people used to take a walk whenever there is a break. Of course, you are not supposed to do any physical exercise. You can hardly do is a good walk, and the area is very pleasant. It is very away from the city, surrounded by good natural atmosphere. And what maximum you can do is take a walk. I can see the people who are walking, the meditators. Crazy. And then they will keep on looking at the thing, and everybody, of course, the mind is hammering, mind is becoming crazy. So they walk just like putting their heads down, coming and going. And when I started looking some people out of it, I said, okay, this guy may be this, that, and of course labeling happening. At the end of the day, when we start interacting with people, the kind of knowledge what they have and the purpose of they coming here, I mean, I am surprised. When I first seen them, I had a different perception, like, maybe this guy is working somewhere, this guy is maybe ordinary person, this guy is, no. The lesson what I learned is don't underestimate people by looking. They have got some very important things. And I also read something that, somebody keep on hammering, knocking the door to happen something from outside. And I was told that God came from inside and opened the door. So it's all inside. So what I suggest for everybody, maybe to start a first step towards what is Vipassana is all about. In a day-to-day life, I think whatever meditation you do, good thing about Vipassana is no idealism, no idol worship, no puja, no chanting, nothing. It is a very practical way of putting things in place. And there is a very important aspect which I learned from there. There is an audio tape happening, and you have to keep following the audio, like please concentrate on your breath. And there is English and of course the other language translation happening side by side. And you keep on listening to it. Till the final day, I was little upset over the words keep on used. Like you keep watching the breath, and maybe some few words which is used very, very, very often. I was little not comfortable when they keep on using the same words in Tamil and English. Then the final day I realized when there is a discourse happening every day by, of course, Goenkaji, who brought this to India from Burma. Of course, that's the only relaxation there we have. We can see somebody talking to us from one side on the evening of the daily course during these 10 days. So he said one thing very clear, even the words they use, they don't want to give you an opportunity to go for an image. So the words are carefully planned so that you don't cling on to something. For example, you please concentrate on your nose, below the nose, which is like a cave, that's all gone. The mind will be going, catching in cave forever. It will not transcend, it will not come. Hats off to the people who designed this, hats off to the people who have taken, maybe they would have taken so much of research into it as to how the mind can be tamed. So it is so wonderfully planned. Even the words they keep on telling us to follow are so good. No puja, no nothing, no chanting, not even one photo of Buddha, which is this technique is brought by Buddha 2500 years before, which he made everybody, he wants everybody to get this experience out of it. The Dhamma taught by Buddha, the Gautama, the Buddha. The wonderful aspect is, in the whole Vipassana center you can not see a small photo of Buddha also, because it is so good. Because if you see a small photo gone, and people will start going towards Buddha, and this image will be keep on hammering you. And nowadays, even a tree, there is one line, people think that this is Ganesha trunk, they start performing pujas. This is the world. Chanting helps, and meditating helps in so many other factors. No condemnation of other meditating techniques. I think these people, what Vipassana say is very true, that it can take all the surface problems out, but deep inside, if you want to take all the things out, I think it's better to take a try of 10-day course. It's really good, and the people are so good, and believe me, I tell you this, they don't charge anything. Whatever you feel like, you can give it to the end of the day. At the end of the day, you can whatever you can contribute for the next meditator or for the next people to come. So well planned. Hats off to that person who brought this, Mr. Goenka ji. I know what kind of world